Hello everyone, and welcome back to From Our Basement Gaming. Sorry, I had to make sure the video was on this time. We are back with part 15 of Crash Bandicoot Warped. Let's play. And yes, Crash is like, yes, let's play. So we are going to show you the last two secret levels.
Yep. Future Frenzy.
And then once we're done that, we'll show you guys the wood and the best ending.
Yeah.
I forget if the credits roll with that or not. And then I don't know. I don't know after that.
True. We've got plenty of choices.
We will probably in the next. Well, I don't know. We'll see if it takes two parts, but if it doesn't, then we'll have something new.
Yeah.
Next time.
That's true. Speaking of our previous episode, I found a piece of flour out of my hair.
I wonder if I had some on my clothes and that's why I sneezed.
Oh no. I guess I'm gonna be swimming tonight to get that junk off my body. Certainly showering, because I think the doctors say it's actually a good idea to shower at night.
Oh, do they? I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so that way you can get all the dirt and crud that collects on your body throughout the day and wash it off at night, so you can sleep with no crud and germs on your body, and then you're fresh for the next day.
Right. Yeah, I'm not so good at doing showers at night, or baths either at night. It was interesting though, when I was in Japan, I showered at night.
Oh.
I guess because with my schedule, it was just more convenient. And I don't know, it was part of trying to unwind.
Whoa!
Yeah, because the last one I worked at in Japan, I had to go in the morning, so that's why. Although my first job in Japan, I didn't have to go in until noon. But I left the house early so I could get lunch. Because, like, I had to, for that one, I had to spend a few hours before classes started preparing for the classes. And then, like, when I was done prepping, she said I could eat, but, you know, I needed lunch before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so...
Right.
So I just opted for having early lunch and then going to work. But my second job was more of your typical 9 to 5 affair.
Yeah.
Although technically it was more like 8 to 6.
Gotcha. No, I'm not going to sing that song.
No. With an hour for lunch, of course. But since that job was in a mall, and they gave us lunch break right at noon, I usually just brought my own lunch because all the places to buy lunch were way too crowded at noon.
That's probably a good idea.
So I would just sit in the break room and eat lunch. Sadly that place was not well ventilated though, so it was always stuffy. That's why I was sick most of the time the last place I worked.
That's not good.
Yeah, and then like when you came to visit me, I was finally feeling not sick.
Yeah.
Because I was like going between bad allergies and being sick. like most of my time there, which made me very sad. I gotta talk to somebody before I go to Japan again, like a doctor, about what to do when, because there's gotta be some way to avoid this severe allergy reaction.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it would have made sense to me if I had that reaction for like a month or two and then recovered, but no, it was like the whole time I was there almost.
Damn.
And that's miserable. I don't want to do that.
It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I wanted to enjoy myself more. And going back and forth between bad allergies and being sick when I had to work was extremely stressful.
Yeah.
So that's why I couldn't make it my whole contract, because So, I've probably said it to you guys before, I suffer from chronic pain. I also suffer from insomnia, so add those things to allergies and being sick off and on, you can understand why I had trouble staying here. It didn't help, that we had a poor ventilated place, and 2 of the rooms had like that fake sand in it. Like, kind of like the fake sand they use in sand art, like that kind of
stuff.
Yeah. And the kids are like brushing it all in the air because
That could be a challenge.
yeah. There were 2 rooms that had that crap, because one was supposed to simulate digging for gold, which is cool in concept, but not great when you have to work there teaching classes. And the other one is like simulating digging for fossils, which was also pretty cool, but also not great on the allergies. So yeah, I mean, it was a really cool place to work, and I think with some minor adjustments it would have been much better. Even, because there was like this place in the mall, and it had different themed rooms, and we would teach English based on those themes, like a post office, a restaurant, the movie theater, a cooking studio. Although honestly, at the cooking studio, we mostly made peanut butter sandwiches, which was a complete waste. And there is the room that my co-workers referred to as the white guilt room, that they called Native American Village.
Oh,
yes.
dear.
I don't think anybody told the people who decided to design that room the implications of it. Either that, or they told it to them and the higher-ups didn't care. They were like, well, we already made the room.
They were a man who didn't understand.
Yeah.
It's sad if you wouldn't understand.
Yeah. I mean, that is... It is unfortunate.
Yeah.
And it's like, they could have replaced it with something else.
Something a little more poignant. But I take it by English they mean America, right?
Well, this was a play, so even though it called itself an English village, they did decide to specifically make it like an American-inspired place.
Right. I wonder what they think about the Majesty of the Queen.
There are schools in Japan that are actually specifically focused on British English.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they're like, I think in northern Japan mostly, they had, oh gosh, I forget what it was called. But it was like James something. But I don't remember. And there was another one that specifically had like Queen Academy or something like that. Not Queen Academy.
Wow.
I don't remember the name, but it did make reference to Her Majesty, the Queen of England.
Who, at the time of recording, is celebrating her Platinum Jubilee.
Congratulations.
Yes.
And then there are, so I mean there are some, but I almost feel like that's kind of more like a preferential thing for the small group, the small group of Japanese families that know the difference and care.
Right. Because we both remember that gentleman from G's who was perplexed when he learned that the Beatles were British. He thought they were Americans.
Which is the strangest thing, we've ever heard, really.
I know some people think they sounded American when they sang. You can hear the accent if you listen carefully. But
I mean, the more casual songs you can definitely hear. Maybe some of their more, I don't know, slower songs. Maybe I could see it, but
they kind of wore it on the sleeve that they were from Liverpool.
Yeah, so I mean, and there are also like, there's one Japanese, like an English school in Japan that is more like focused on Canadian, because I think it's Canadian owned.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like Maple.
I'm impressed. Canadian?
Yeah. I was surprised that I didn't hear of any like specific Australian English school, because a lot of Japanese students study abroad in Australia because it's a lot more convenient to get to than America or England.
True. That was the question the guy in Tokyo asked if you were from Australia or America.
Yeah. So I mean, and when I was studying abroad at Kansai Gaidai, which is a university in Osaka, I remember asking, some Japanese people if they could tell the difference between American English and British English, and a lot of the college-age students said no.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so I think maybe you have to be a very advanced, and I asked them this in Japanese, and they answered in Japanese, in case you were curious. So I think maybe perhaps the more advanced students that like were specifically studying English, like, with the intent to go abroad, maybe they recognize it a little bit more. Which is fair. I feel like when you're studying a language, it does take you a while before you can hear the differences, unless they're like so blatantly obvious. Like, I mean, I think I've gotten to that point with Japanese where I can kind of hear if there's some kind of dialect.
Nice.
If they're speaking in it. If they're speaking standard Japanese, obviously I'm not going to know.
Right.
There's no way to spot an Osakan if they're speaking the same Japanese that somebody from Tokyo is speaking.
Yeah.
But if they're speaking the Kansai dialect, which is the region that Osaka's in, then like basically the Kansai dialect does sound very different. You have to, like, I would say you have to be bare bones beginner to not pick it up.
Right.
Even if you don't know what the difference is, you can kind of hear it.
This is true.
Kind of like, I don't know what a good example is.
Boston and Baltimore.
I don't know. I don't know if people outside of the East Coast really notice too much.
Right, or New Yorker. I mean, one of the clearest examples that ADV likes to use is...
Yeah, an example that, you know, showcases what we mean, but it's not an equivalent at all, would be a Southern accent.
Yeah.
And that's the popular one that, yeah, a lot of anime dubbing companies like to equate to Osakan.
Right.
In shows where it's referenced that, you know, the character speaks with a Kansai dialect. They kind of make it a Southern dialect. I feel like in this example that I'm referring to specifically is from Azumanga Daioh, which I would hope many of you anime fans out there have either, you know, seen the anime or read the manga, because it's kind of, even though I'm not, I liked it okay. I wouldn't consider myself a diehard fan of it. It had some things I didn't like, but I do feel like it's one of those essential classics.
Yeah.
You know, not Osamu Tezuka level classic, but you get me.
Like new generation of classics.
Yes. And I mean, it's decent. But yeah, I feel like the manga was closer when, although ironically, if you want to talk about geographically, making Osaka New York makes no sense because Tokyo would be New York.
Yeah. So a better example would probably be New York and Massachusetts, ...
Maybe if you made Tokyo Massachusetts, I guess, right?
I thought you said Tokyo was New York.
Oh, you meant, got you. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that would work. But of course, they're not going to make the other characters have any kind of strong dialect.
The Bandicoot has brought all of the crystals and all of the gems to me.
Yeah, so we're gonna do the boss again, so you guys can see the best ending. Yes.
Yeah, for a change. That's heavy talk.
Dr. Cortex looked so awkward there. So yeah, you guys get to see this again. Hopefully you like this boss battle, okay?
Yep, hopefully I remember it.
It's a little bit chaotic, but it works. It's not so bad as a final boss, though.
Oh. True. Especially when you don't walk into the laser.
Right. Yeah, it's good music. Ah, man, am I hungry?
Oh yeah. Well, how come you like dinner tonight?
Thanks. Oh dear.
Oh, we got plenty of lives.
Yeah, it's gonna take us a minute to reacquaint ourselves with the map.
Right, we're getting slow. Schneisel! Yes! And
Poor
down,
Dr. Cortex.
I know.
We have to
Down the hole you go.
and it's like a big smack sound too.
Yeah. Definitely sounds painful.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we go...
From this game onward, I started to feel really bad for Dr. Cortex. Because he kind of... Before this point, he was kind of a villain to take seriously. And then it kind of felt like he became less of a serious villain and more of just a comedic dick villain, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the sequel after this, and by that I mean the original fourth game in the series.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, don't be ashamed about your past. Don't release your 8th title and call it 4. But I know. I'm not saying the game isn't good. I'm just saying I don't agree with the title, and I know the universe was split and all that.
Justify calling it Crash the fourth game because we completely forgot to be made in the fourth game.
Oh no, not at all. It more is a case of they wanted
to retcon.
They want to retcon, yeah, because you know, the game that came out after this one bombed so badly.
For
Wrath of Cortex. And that. And the games afterwards, you know, were mixed reception to, oh my god, it's horrible, that, yeah, they just wanted to retcon the whole thing.
Yeah.
But in order to not accept not upset, sorry, I can't talk. In order to not upset the people who were actually, you know, fans of these games, they decided to make it, you know, a split timeline.
It's not like they're gonna re-release Wrath of Cortex, right?
Probably not. Sadly, I don't think there's any sort of demand to remaster or re-release that one. And I feel like Twin Sanity had mixed reception, so they probably won't bother with remaking that one either. And then the 2 games after that, well, let's face it, they were trying something different, and of course that was going to get mixed reception. I guess I could say the same thing about Twin Sanity. That was something completely different too. Which, by the way, I like Twin Sanity, and you'll hear more about that one fateful day when we played that game.
That's true. Okay, I'm scared. They do. Oh, they did stuff. That stuff.
Yeah.
Stay away from explosions.
Yeah. Yes, when 2 tiki gods are fighting, I think they're tiki gods.
Yeah.
It's best to stay away from them.
Down the hole you go. Yeah, Cortex.
Is
that it? Okay. So now enjoy the best ending if you haven't seen it before.
Yeah. I agree with you, buddy. This game needs some clothes.
Yeah.
And it sucks everything up. That's what happens when you play with time and space.
Yes.
The time
everything collapses in on itself.
It's very weird that they convinced the guy in charge of time himself to go to be a villain.
Yeah.
Give me the mask! With it I shall take over the world! Come on!
Oh, you teased me with that picture of Tawna.
It is difficult to say what has happened to our enemies, but I doubt we will see them for a long time.
In a way, that would have been a good way to finish the series. This was the end of the PlayStation 1 period of...
Well, Crash, It's About Time takes place after this ending.
Right.
Yeah, and then supposedly Wrath of Cortex takes place after the normal ending, where they didn't get stuck in time and turned into babies. The one where they go back in time because he says, "We still have time. They don't have all the crystals."
Right.
All the gems. All the gems.
Right.
Not the crystals. We had all the crystals.
True. And we meet the Tana from the alternate universe.
Yeah. Yes.
Not to be confused with the other Tana.
It's going to be a long time before we play that one, I'm sure, though, because that's our copy is on the Switch.
Yes.
Because we do not own a PS4 or PS5. Maybe by the time we get up to it, we might. But we'll see. Because by that point, it might actually be affordable. Because we'll be on PlayStation 10 by that point.
Unless we decide to make some other decisions, or
probably
if you guys really want us.
Probably not. It probably won't be that far into the future, but it'll still be pretty far into the future.
Right. Unless it's in the future where we all are playing Nintendo PlayStations or Microsoft system.
Microsoft system. Nintendo PlayStations. You think they'll get back together?
It'd be funny if they did.
I mean, if they made up and now have a weird relationship. Maybe if they get to the point where they fall in love again and work together. I know, I'm sorry, I'm using dating
because Kev and I are referencing the first attempt at a CD-ROM add-on for the Super Nintendo, which would have been the Nintendo PlayStation.
Don't judge us too harshly on the not perfect times. There are a lot of good ones, but...
Right.
Although, I'm sorry, these are other people. I didn't realize they were showing the other people's too. So
yeah. Bye-bye blimps. Tell no tales. Future Frenzy. A lot of these are from Sony Computer Entertainment.
Yeah, I'm realizing that now. My apologies. I thought they were showing our times, and I was going to be like, don't judge us, but no.
That's NDI. I have no idea what that is.
I guess these are the times to beat.
Right. Or the first.
Coco, 14 seconds. Jeez.
Wowzers. How do they do that?
How? Without speedrunning it.
Yeah, or cheating. Most likely they are ace gamers.
Yeah, well, they made the games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alright, guys, well, we had a lot of fun, and it does look like next time we will be playing something else. So, we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
See you next time, everyone.
Yes, you'll see me too.
Yeah, we will.
Alright, bye.